tight. Hold my baby squid, keep him out of sight. Talking about my life, government stay away. I keep drive, I'ma do it my own way. Squid in the ocean, swimming all alone. Ain't nobody telling me where to go. Living free, gotta stay true to myself. No need for interference from anyone else. Squid pro quo, that's the way to be. Living on my terms, setting myself free. Mama to my baby, protecting with my no government intrusion. I control my life.
Hey guys, it's Squid. Welcome back to my channel. How is everybody doing today? I hope well. Y'all, we got some stuff to talk about. Y'all, we have some stuff. Hey Roy, how are you? Good afternoon, everyone. Please remember to hit the like button. Hit the dislike button too at this point in life. You know what? I don't care. I hit the dislike button to let a streamer I like know that it isn't my favorite topic, because it still helps them with the algorithm. But you know what? People like to hit it because they don't like me, and it's like, thanks for helping me with the algorithm. Cheers to you. Aha! Oh no, subscriber mode. I have to subscribe so I can badmouth the host. Whatever happened to free speech? Your free speech ends where my give a shit starts. Maybe. I used to think that little girl in the intro was Squidlet when I first started watching the trailer. It's an AI version. Hey Janet, how are you? Do we have some tea to spill today? Unfortunately, I didn't open all of the documents. I had to do some mama stuff, so had to do some mama stuff. But Hannah Dugan, the first of many judges who I believe are going to fall, in the sense of screaming that no one is above the law, no one is above the law, no one is above the law. And then do something that is against the law, and then wonder why you are all of a sudden in trouble. The shock to me. Oh yeah, for those of you who didn't see, we're just gonna do a little 5-second what the hails, what the heck. The judge did post a memo that there is a teleconference status hearing update on February. Holy crap, did I just go back in time? May 29th at 11 a.m. Central Time, which is noon here. So yeah, that should be interesting. It is a phone conference. It is not Zoom. It is a phone. However, the next document was a memorandum with the phone number and meeting ID. I'm not going to post that, but you know, it's public. Just saying. I actually saw a stream the other day. One of the people subscribed just to complain about the host, and they said that and waited, I think, 10 minutes just to complain. Hilarious. That's funny to me. Like, that is hilarious. There you go. I fixed it. Yeah, well, what's worse, them as pro se defendants or their lawyer? However, he is still getting updates to the case. Remember that. So he will have to be there too. Remember that. And hey, Lorianne, how are you this afternoon? All right, but we are going to get into the judge in the first of the judges gone rogue. And you can see just how ethical Judge Belaytho actually is when you start looking at these other judges and what they are doing. I was originally going to make this a video instead. Like, I was going to make these short videos, but then some documentation is starting to come out, and it's like, it's just easier for me to do this on a live stream and then cut down if I need to. So we have and that what in looking up Hannah Dugan, this is not the first time that she has been in trouble. She has been named in prior suits, which is interesting to me because there was a number of judges that were named in a prior suit by a pro se defendant, and it was dismissed consequently by the same judge that is hearing the case now. So I don't have much faith in the judge that is overhearing this case. Hi. But we shall see. So we are going to get into the indictment first. Hi, beautiful. Why are we crying? That's the cap to my lunch that I still haven't eaten or drank. Why are we fun? No. You carried it around. This is why I haven't eaten my lunch yet or drank my lunch yet, because you've been carrying it around the house for an hour. No. No, baby. All right. Let you down now? I can do that. Alrighty. All right. USA versus Hannah C. Dugan. 18 U.S. Code 1071 and 1505. Girl, you're pushing my last nerve today. Count 1. The grand jury charges that on or about April 18th, 2025, in the state and Eastern District of Wisconsin, Hannah C. Dugan knowingly concealed EFR, a person for whose arrest warrant and process had been issued under the provisions of a law of the United States as to prevent the discovery and arrest of EFR. After the notice, you either turn it down or get down. It was either her options were her options were to either turn it down or get down. And she didn't want to turn it down, so I put her down. Then she finally turned it down. Bolitho put himself in a damned if you do, Beelzebubbles, and damned if you don't. Like, yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah. Hannah C. Dugan knowingly concealed EFR, a person for whose arrest a warrant and process had been issued under the provisions of a law of the United States, so as to prevent the discovery and arrest of EFR after notice and knowledge of the fact that a warrant and process had been issued for the apprehension of EFR, in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code 1071. Count 2. The grand jury further charges that on or about April 18th, 2025, in the state and Eastern District of Wisconsin, Hannah C. Dugan did corruptly endeavor to influence, obstruct, and impede the due and improper administration of the law under which a pending proceeding was being had before a department and agency of the United States, namely the administrative arrest of EFR for purposes of removal proceedings conducted by the U.S. States Department of Homeland Security by committing affirmative acts to assist EFR to evade arrest, including... Hey, hose picker, how are you? Confronting members of the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement Task Force and falsely telling them that they needed a judicial warrant to effect the arrest of EFR. Upon learning that they had an administrative warrant for EFR's arrest, directing all identified members of the ICE task force to leave the location of the planned arrest, a public hallway outside of the courtroom of the courtroom 615 of the Milwaukee County Courthouse, and go to the Chief Judge's office. Addressing EFR Milwaukee County Circuit Court criminal case off the record, while ICE's task force members were in the Chief Judge's office. Directing EFR and his counsel to exit courtroom 615 through a non-public jury door, and advising EFR's counsel that EFR could appear by Zoom for his next court date, in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code 1505. And I'm glad that they redacted this, not me. So there's her. There is her indictment. Okay, so that is not much different from what we actually heard in the news. The news was not that accurate. The reason that I like reading these indictments when I can get a hold of them is because we actually see what happened and what the grand jury said happened versus what the news reported. So going back to the judge's code of ethics, which is where we'll get into what I believe is the main issue with some of the things that she is. We'll get into why I'm going into the ethical issue. This is not me being a lawyer. This is just, if I'm going to create an argument as to why I think her motion to dismiss is bullshit, this is why. So I have this whole unethics in law. Judge's Ethics Opinion 478. That is the outside investigation. ABA Code of Judicial Conduct. Let's see. We are going to share. Let's share this one. So just based on what that had said and her actions, that she said he could leave through. Okay. She lied and said that they needed a judicial warrant when they didn't. Telling them they had to leave when they didn't. Addressing EFR's criminal case off the record, ethical issue. Directing EFR and his counsel to exit a courtroom through a non-public jury door. Sounds like a problem. This one, I'm not really sure is an ethical issue because that is within her purview to say that he can appear by Zoom. That's within my opinion, her power. Here's where it gets a little hinky. Yeah, sorry, I got more than one thing open. I gotta find my my stuff. So look at Canon 1. A judge shall uphold and promote the independence, integrity, and impartiality of the judiciary and shall avoid impropriety and the appearance of impropriety. Just her conduct alone should get her. This is without even the law. Hey, Buck Naked, how are you? This is without, this is just her standing as a judge and her ability to stay a judge regardless of what happens with the criminal case. And this is what I feel like needs to stop or start happening with other judges around the country. I Oh, Unhung Hero, thank you for gifting 10 Squid Purple memberships. I so appreciate you. I was gonna do I think I might do a members only stream tomorrow night if I can get the little to go to bed on time. Or I can get the dude to do bedtime with her and not get mad at me for streaming and being loud.
Okay. Down.
You want to get down?
Yeah.
Then why do you want to get up? You're silly. Go get your water. Go get your water. Go get it. All right. Let's see. Compliance with the law. Like, the fact that she's charged with breaking the law by a grand jury means there's enough evidence to charge her with a crime. If she is convicted, you don't stay a judge. Just promoting confidence in the judiciary. Yeah, I definitely I lost confidence. I'm losing confidence in judges day by day, based on everything that's going on. Bias, prejudice, and avoiding abuse of the prestige of judicial office. So that's 13. Let's see page 13. And this is 70 pages long. We are not going to go through the whole thing. Avoiding the abuse of prestige of judicial office. A judge shall not abuse the prestige of judicial office to advance the personal or economic interests of the judge or allow others to do so. All right. Looking at that one a little closer, not thinking. But Canon 2, a judge shall perform the duties of the judicial office impartially, competently, and diligently. Yeah. To ensure that judges are available to fulfill their judicial duties, judges must conduct their personal and extrajudicial activities to minimize the risk of conflicts that would result in frequent disqualification. Let's see. Let's see if we can come up with any more. Impartiality and fairness. A judge shall uphold and apply the law and shall perform duties of judicial office fairly and impartially. When applying and interpreting the law, a judge sometimes may make good faith errors of fact or law. Errors of this kind do not violate this rule. Does that seem like a good faith error? We're not hearing about a lot of judges, just the ones that do things out of the norm. Yeah. Hey, 3 awesome dogs just had a big thunderstorm collect rainwater in a 50-gallon barrel. Holy crap. Oh my goodness. And Roy, you bring up a really good point. Government in this country was founded with moral people in mind. That's no longer the case. Yeah, well, it was also founded with the idea that if we had immoral people, that the other branches would have the balls to remove the immoral people. Like Congress would have the power to impeach judges, and Congress doesn't have any balls because they're so scared of the backlash. And this is where I feel like term limits would be a good thing, not only to keep them from getting wealthy off the backs of American taxpayers. That's a whole separate issue. But if you know that you only have 2 terms in Congress and you're on your second term and you know you can't be voted in again, you should not fear the backlash of not being reelected, because you can't be reelected. Therefore, you should be able to better do your job. And right now, they're just not doing their job because they're so scared of not being reelected. Because all they know, once they get in there, that's all they know. Like, they forget how to live in the real world. Oh, yes. Congress and all branches of government are full of immoral people. Yes. Oh, yes. I agree. Oh, yeah. I completely agree. That's where I'm like, term limits. Because if you had term limits would, if someone is in their second term as a senator, then the backlash from their constituents, and I won't get reelected. Well, good, you're on your second term. You can't run for reelection anyway. And we wouldn't have these Nancy Pelosi's, people who should be like of retirement age. What's the retirement age? 72? Nancy Pelosi's what, 104? Give or take the amount of Botox she has in her face. Oh, yes, but here's the problem with term limits. They have to vote on them. So they're never going to vote on term limits for themselves. So, yes, but that's why they don't have, yeah, it's a vicious cycle. Yeah. I see where you're going with that, but people like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, people who have been in there, and now like AOC, like her district will keep voting her in because her district is just that liberal, even though we all know that she has the IQ of like a toddler. And she could not tell you the 3 branches of government if you paid her. Her district is so liberal that she will keep getting voted in instead of having to vote somebody else in. So, yeah, that would be my thing. 2 Senate runs or 6 terms in the House. Yeah, Joe Biden was first elected in 72. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. What we need to do is we keep adding laws, but we never take any away. Do you know how many stupid laws are on the books? Like, from back in the 50s, 40s, 30s, like, how many laws that have been written over but haven't actually been removed? Somebody just needs to go through the books and, like, remove all this stupid shit. Like, in Georgia, you can't buy alcohol before noon on Sunday. What's the difference between 11 a.m. and noon on Sunday? Not a whole lot. I want my damn mimosa. Like, see, it's shit like this. Like, I don't know if that one is real, but there is dumb shit like that is real. Like, yeah. I agree. I agree. Hey, Beth, how are you? Blue laws? You're supposed to go to church. I am spiritual. I am not religious, because half the people that I know that go to church and hide behind God are some of the most un-Christian people I've ever met in my life. So, you know, yeah, they can only do so much, you know. There's just so much. You got to start. You can't spread yourself too thin. You know what I mean? That's one thing I'm learning. So, thus blue laws. Yeah. All right. So, knowing that we've proven that she's broken the a couple of canons of the ABA Code of Judicial Conduct, we will read her first of all, I will show you the docket for this. Well, I won't show you the docket right now because I got a document open, but there is like 5 or 6 appearances for her lawyers. But she has a motion to dismiss. And this is where y'all need to have a drinking game of how many times will I roll my eyes? How many times will I This is going to frustrate the ever-living fuck out of me. Here we go. So we will do this. Oh. Whoop. How did I do that? There we go. Hey, look at that. I'm playing with this to see if I can like move stuff around or what I can and cannot do. Oh, what's that? Oh, look at that. Fascinating. Just playing, pushing buttons. The church that claims to be the one has been responsible for more wars and tortures than most countries combined. Yeah, you can do it. Well, I have all these buttons, and I'm like, I just push buttons and see what happens. Because that's the only way I'm going to learn how to use this. Don't be the expert. There is only one the expert, and it ain't me. All right. U.S. versus Hannah Dugan. Defendant's motion to dismiss. Honorable Hannah C. Dugan moves for an order dismissing the indictment. This is no ordinary criminal case, and Dugan is no ordinary criminal defendant. Dugan is a Milwaukee County Circuit Court judge. They boo fucking who? What is this that we keep hearing from everybody? No one is above the law. No one is above the law. No one is above the law. Well, aiding and abetting an arrest, don't care. I don't care. Nobody is above the law. We keep hearing that, right? She's a judge. I don't give a fuck if she's Gandhi. I don't give a damn if she's Jesus Christ reincarnated. Don't give a damn. Nobody is above the law. Sorry. Dugan is a Milwaukee County Circuit Court judge. She was arrested and indicted for actions allegedly taken in the immediate vicinity of her courtroom involving a person appearing before her as a party. The government's prosecution of Judge Dugan is virtually unprecedented and entirely unconstitutional. It violates the 10th Amendment and fundamental principles of federalism and comedy reflected in that amendment and in the very structure of the U.S. Constitution. This bitch. Oh, and yes, and not like Hannah Dugan is ever going to see this, but you are a thunder cow. You are a thunder cow. And just in case we, unless you have a D next to your name, or are Biden, Clinton, Obama, or Bush. Yeah. So we're just going to read the 10th Amendment just in case anybody's forgotten the Constitution. This is from Cornell Law School. The 10th Amendment helps to define the concept of federalism, the relationship between federal and state governments. As federal activity has increased, so too has the problem of reconciling state and national interests as they apply to federal powers, to tax, to police, and to regulations such as wage and hour laws, disclosure of personal information in record-keeping systems, and laws related to strip mining. Don't care. Amendment 10. The power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by by it to the states are reserved for the states respectively or to the people. Okay, so we really want to apply that to this. We'll go with that. We'll or either a thunder cow or a Cuntosaurus rex. You take your pick. Yeah, he's always been hinky. He's always been hinky. The problems with this prosecution are legion, but most immediately, the government cannot prosecute Judge Dugan because she is entitled to judicial immunity for her official acts. That makes me want to throw hands. Immunity is not a defense to the prosecution to be determined later by a jury or court. It is an absolute bar to the prosecution at the outset. See Trump v. United States, 2024. Okay. Let's get to this. Let's get to judicial immunity, shall we? Judicial immunity is a form of sovereign immunity which protects judges and others employed by the judiciary from liability resulting from their judicial actions. It is intended to ensure that judges can make decisions free from improper influence exercised on them, contributing to the impartiality of the judiciary and rule of law. In modern times, and I know this is Wikipedia, so take it with a grain of salt, but like, 3 awesome dogs, I'll get to your comment in a minute. In modern times, the main purpose of judicial immunity is to shield judges from the suits of ordinary people, primarily litigants who may be dissatisfied with the outcome of a case decided by the judge. So, for example, when somebody in Florida loses a case and they get pissed and decide to sue Judge Bolitho, that would be a proper use of judicial immunity. That would be a proper use of judicial immunity. Getting back to her indictment. Okay, getting back to her indictment. He was in front of her as a defendant. Okay, so this is my problem with her, and this is if I were the prosecution, this is how I would push back on it. I'm not a lawyer, but this is just how I would argue it because I like to argue. This is why I wanted to be a lawyer when I was a kid, because I was that kid who went to my parents and was like, but technically, I was that kid. So I'm fully prepared for and I just have to show y'all. So I'm about to show y'all my office and where my daughter is right now. So my messy office, I'm sorry. She is passed out. I was wondering why she got quiet over there. I don't claim to, but I play one on YouTube. No, I never claimed to be a lawyer. I hated public speaking, and that's one of the reasons that I decided that I didn't want to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a therapist, was because I didn't like public speaking. So I started a YouTube channel, you know. Make it make sense. I know my greatest fears in life, for those of you who are new to my channel, or newer, my greatest fears in life as a teenager were public speaking and reading out loud. Like when the teacher would call on you and you'd have to read a book out loud. Greatest fears in life. So judicial immunity is to protect, say, Judge Bolitho from getting sued by a certain turtle stripper in Florida, allegedly, if she loses a case. because she's pissed. That would be judicial immunity. Judicial immunity is not saying, I have you for a local case because you're a defendant in a local case. ICE is looking for you. I'm going to hide you. I'm going to let you escape out the jury door. Judicial immunity no longer applies. You can't just hide. You can't just hide behind judicial immunity for everything. And that's what I hate. Yeah, I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and I truly, like, this is not, and you will rarely see this from me in regards to BBB, but being genuine, I truly think that he has, I think it's agoraphobia, fear of leaving the house. I just have this, like, I'm not diagnosing. I just have this, like, gnawing, like, gut feeling that he has not, like, he has an irrational fear of public places. Like, yeah. What, the image I just put in your head? What? Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing. I'm not a psychologist, not a psychiatrist. I just have this gut feeling from working with some people who have had that issue. I'm seeing some of the same behaviors that those people exhibited. That's all I can say. But judicial immunity does not protect you from being a dickhead. That's like going and, like, getting a DUI and then saying, well, I'm a judge, you can't prosecute me. No, that's not judicial immunity. Judicial immunity does not stop you from oh my goodness. It makes the head explode that you think that you can hide behind judicial immunity for everything. Like, it's just, and the 10th Amendment, like, it's not in the Constitution, so it's the states. Yeah, well, what does the 10th Amendment have to do with ICE serving an arrest warrant, whether it's a administrative warrant or not? That is not your purview. That is federal. You are state. Stay in your lane. Like, it's like getting pulled over by the cops and you thinking the cops pulled you over for some shitty reason. They didn't pull you over for a valid reason. They're being assholes. But just don't be an asshole back. Stay in your lane, do what you need to do, and fight it in court later. Like, just, there's certain things that are free in life, and the ability to stay in your lane is one of them. And she didn't stay in her lane. She purposely let him go out, and his lawyer, not just him. Oh, I think judicial immunity, like, needs to go out completely, except for the judge cannot be sued by litigants who lost in a case. That's it. Like, that's all. Like, I just, if I had ever uttered the word technically to my dad, he would have said, well, technically, do you want to keep your teeth? I'm pretty sure my dad said something along those lines to me. It was more like, technically, do you want to be able to sit down in the next week? And y'all, my mom comes on here and you see my mom occasionally in chat. My mom, y'all, you know how, like, someone says they'll smack you so hard they'll knock you into next week. My mom was the other way around. She was like, I'm gonna smack you so hard I'll knock you into 20 minutes ago so you can redo what you just did and try not to fuck up so bad. Like, yeah, she flipped out. I would love to see the video taken around that courthouse. Well, she also, there's more. There's something that was in the picture that I used as the thumbnail. That was the other half of the picture. Sorry, I just had to mention it because somebody mentioned it to me the other day, and I can't remember who said it or like puts it in their like alternate screen name. But I like pole dancing turtle minister or something like that, and I'm like, I just can't. Like once you see it, you can't unsee it. So I had to share that little tidbit with all of you. So now to say technically when trying to repair a computer. Holy, so I'm gonna show y'all the photo. The other half of the photo that was the I have to open it up because when you said the videos, I thought of the picture and I should have included it because and this is my doing mom stuff and not prepping like I should, or not thinking things through. This is the picture. Let's see. So this is the picture I used. There we go. Attention, if any attorney, witness, coordinator, or other court official knows or has believed a person feels unsafe coming to the courthouse, courtroom 615, which is her courtroom, please notify branch clerk to request court via Zoom. I mean, that sounds like this is premeditated, that she is not being impartial. She is letting people know her political leanings and how she feels about things, which is not her place. She's not staying in her lane, sort of speak. Yeah. So we can all take that into account as well. So, is judges having immunity BS in the state of Michigan versus Nassar? The judge broke his civil rights when she gave her personal opinion from the bench founded by the Michigan Supreme Court. And I think you should never know. And this is what's hard is because judges technically don't have a Republican or Democrat. But when they're appointed by certain people or certain people endorse them, you kind of know. But like you should never know outright what a judge's opinion is on anything. And this is the problem. He ruined baseball a long time ago. Yeah. I think she did because this was posted, that sign was posted in her like on the door to her courtroom. So yeah, I don't think her. It's one of those things where like you think about something, but you don't like. You think about it in the moment, but you think with emotion and how it makes you angry that people are being deported. You don't think about like. People are coming here illegally. They're taking jobs that, I don't know, legal citizens can get. They're also taking or bringing diseases here because they're crossing the border illegally, which means we never know what they're bringing with them. They're not vaccinated, hence measles outbreaks. We don't know what they were. When you fill out immigration forms, like for a visa, even Prince Harry's visa is being scrutinized because he might have lied on his visa because it said that he never committed a crime when in his book he wrote that he smoked weed with he did drugs with at Courtney Cox's house. Whether that is true, but there's issues with your visa. You can be kicked out of the country for committing a crime, or you can be denied entry for committing a crime. So having these people come across where we don't know who they are. There are numerous people that are on the terrorist watch list who are in this country somewhere because they were let across the border. So, like, yes, we get these sob stories, and yes, it makes you angry to see people being deported who might be trying to make a good life for themselves here. But you got to think about as a whole, and you can't just think about the immediate. You have to think about the big picture of things. And I think she was thinking about this can. She wasn't thinking about the whole desk and everything sitting on the desk. And this can might tip over and ruin my keyboard. Like she's a Prince Harry should go back to the UK, but the UK doesn't want him. Yeah, can y'all take him back? Can y'all take Meghan Markle too? Like, where's Spawn Trooper? Y'all need to take them back. Come over here and get them. All right, let's get back into this. Judge Dugan reserves her right to seek other relief, including by other motions before and at trial. But the immunity and federalism issues must be resolved swiftly because the government has no basis in law to prosecute her. Prosecution against her is barred. Yeah. Court should dismiss the indictment. Rule 12b, Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, allows the court to grant relief Judge Dugan seeks. In support of this motion, Judge Dugan shows the indictment charges Judge Dugan with concealing a person from arrest and obstruction for action she took in or near her courtroom. Yes, but not my point against this, my argument against this. Yes, but not in official acts as a judge. She wasn't saying, you can't take him. I need to finish, he's got to finish our business here first. And he's got to do his time served in Milwaukee County first before the federal government can have him. She was not acting in official capacity when she says, yeah, you can leave out the jury door. No. The alleged conduct ranges from directing people's movement in and around the courtroom to advising a party that he could appear remotely for his next hearing. I don't think the Zoom thing, I don't think that is a big deal, because I believe that was within her purview as a judge to say, yeah, you can appear remotely. I don't think that is an issue. Hey, Patrick. Hey, Timothy, how are you? Sorry, hit the enter instead of the space bar. Hello to all the squiddlytons. Yes, no wonder judges think they're out of control. They think they're untouchable. They think they're untouchable. Like, your judicial immunity only prevents your actions in the official capacity of a judge. You telling someone that they can leave out the back door to when you know that they're there trying to be arrested, and you tell ICE that they can't, they need a different warrant, which is a lie. So you knowingly lie to ICE officials. Then you tell someone they can leave out the back door. That is obstruction. That is the definition of obstruction. Just woke up. My recliner was just too comfy today. The little didn't want to take a nap today. I tried to get her to take a nap before this stream. She fought me on it. She's over there in our little, we have a chair, but it's a sleeper sofa kind of thing. She's passed out. She's passed out. The complaint alleges a more cohesive story. In pertinent part, it alleges the following. On Good Friday, April 18th, 2025, Judge Dugan was presiding over her misdemeanor docket in the county courthouse. Among the many defendants with hearings that day was an EFR. I like how I appreciate how the indictment kept his name out of it, and her attorney just decided to put his name out there. But, federal agents arrived at the Milwaukee County Courthouse to execute an administrative arrest warrant for him. A deputy in Judge Dugan's courtroom claimed that Judge Dugan directed him to leave her courtroom through a jury door. He emerged from a doorway into the same public hallway a few feet from Judge Dugan's courtroom doors. Federal law enforcement saw him, followed him to the elevator, and continued to follow him out of the courthouse and then arrest him after a foot chase. And I will not be saying his name because at the end of the day, yes, I believe these people should be deported, but we also don't need to blast their names. Just do it. Do what you need to do, but like I don't need to embarrass these people in the process. That's not my business. Her, on the other hand, if I can embarrass the hell out of a judge, sign me up for that shit. Oh yes. Yeah. 140 and let's see, what did I have? Yeah, I saw 141 and 142. Did I miss 140? Or was 140 the one from the other day? So, oh, slug. The little is taking a nap, no thanks to your advice. Yeah, I have 142 up right now. 142 is the 142. I posted 141 on my Twitter page and in a community note or a community post, saying that the Thursday, May 29th hearing. However, 142 I am not posting because 142 has the phone number and the meeting ID number, and the meeting access code for the phone conference. And I am not posting that because as tempting as it is, I don't want to piss off Judge Beletho by posting it and making it known and being the one to blame for people to call up when they probably shouldn't. As much as I really, really would like to call up and listen to it, that's not my place. I mean, oh, got a guy who's on Reddit of R-wording someone. I've also saved someone's life on a stream last night. Seriously? Text me. We gotta talk about that. All right, so we're gonna get back into this. Even if, contrary to what trial evidence would show, okay, Bubbles, like this lawyer, snarky as fuck, just not the good snarky. Like this is the Bubbles snarky where it doesn't need to. I'm sure it will, but I just don't want to be that guy because that guy would piss me off if I was the judge. And the last thing I want to do is piss off the judge because I would like to think that on both sides of shit that I am the one person who's been fair to the judge and haven't been, he hates us, he's being unfair, he's this, he's that. I've seen both sides doing that, like the judge hates my side, the judge is biased. I've been that person that is like, no, the judge is doing his fucking job. Have a nice day. So I'd like to think that the judge, out of all the coverage, the judge would like my coverage of him the best. Just saying. Not biased on that, but kind of biased on that. But I don't want to piss off the judge because that's the last thing I want to do. This bitch don't care about pissing her off because I don't live in Milwaukee County anymore. I haven't lived in Milwaukee County since 2020. So, but she can. And the Supreme Court of Wisconsin have suspended her anyway. So, Judge Dugan took the actions the complaint alleges. These plainly were judicial acts. These were not judicial acts. Judicial acts were, you cannot have him until I'm finished with him. He is in my courtroom. I need to finish my misdemeanor hearing, whatever he's there for, before you can have him. That is a judicial act. Saying you can sneak out the back door so you can avoid getting arrested. That is not a judicial act. You can kiss my left nut if you think that's a judicial act, and I don't have them. But, yeah. Hoy. for which she has absolute immunity. This is right here. F that shit. There's no such thing as absolute immunity. Oh, Teresa. Sidebar. I'll finish this paragraph, and then I will get to a story time from criminal prosecution. No such thing as absolute immunity. You suck. No, and this is why judges are acting a fool, is because they think they have immunity from everything. Judges are empowered to maintain control over their courtrooms specifically and the courthouse generally. Yeah, in acting in an official capacity as a judge, telling someone they can sneak out the back door to not avoid getting arrested by ICE does not fall under the judicial acts as a judge. That falls under obstruction of justice. Like, 11th Circuit 2017. Interesting. The issuance of an order removing persons from the courthouse in the interest of maintaining such control is an ordinary function performed by judges. Yes, removing lay people, removing civilians, removing lawyers, not removing federal agents. State, federal, state, federal. Federal gets the trump card every time. Sorry, state, you suck, but oh my God. Swallow? Trump? Oh, just a joke from yesterday's video. I was playing basketball, dribbling yesterday, and apparently got a woman. Oh, okay. Sidebar with that whole, what Teresa was laughing at with me saying that you can kiss my left nut. I was pulling into Lowe's parking lot because Lowe's apparently, if y'all want to contribute to any streams that I have, the landscaping for this house and fixing this yard, because the last owners, bless their pretty little hearts, they took care of the house, and the house is in really good shape, but the yard is foobar. Lowe's is sucking the life out of my wallet. So if y'all want to contribute to my like landscaping funds, by all means, because any super chats or any Venmos, Cash Apps, PayPals, or anything like that, that is where that shit is going, straight into my yard. And the water bill for the seed that I planted. Not Laura Owens type. I was pulling into the Lowe's parking lot, and Lowe's has vet parking. So I parked there because the parking spots are a little wider too. So problem with me is, even though I don't have a disability, so I don't have to worry about getting a chair out or anything like that, being wider, sometimes when people park super close to the driver's or the passenger side of my door, it is very hard to get, I don't know, said toddler out of car seat very easily. You know how that thing goes. So I like parking in those vet spots because they're just a little wider. They're a little wider too, and they're close. Some guy in his truck starts asking me, "What branch were you in? Why do you think?" Accusatory, like, "Why do you think you can park there?" I told him what branch I was in, and he made a comment, and I was like, "You can go F yourself and kiss my left nut while you're at it," and walked away. And I had to call my mom, and I'm like, "I just told some guy in the Lowe's parking lot to kiss my left nut." She goes, not sounding at all surprised, goes, "What did he do?" Like, oh yeah, I know, that's what I was parking in. I was parking in that reserved parking for vets, and he asked me about it in an accusatory tone because ever since I got this new vehicle, I don't have vet plates. I have vet plates on my old car. I don't have vet plates on the new vehicle. So he was asking me in an accusatory kind of tone, like, "Oh, I'm a female, so I can't be a vet" kind of situation. And I was like, no. What is the left? I always get the left. I don't know. Because I'm left-handed. I don't know. Like, got nothing. So there's my my story. But yeah, if y'all if y'all want to send that, it's landscape and cash. It's I can't even say cockroach cash, but I need to start my wildlife with squid again because I got home from work last night, and on my garage door was a frog. It is one of them sticky ones, and it jumped at me. I'm like, oh, this is just the start of my fun times. And when I was at Lowe's getting more topsoil for my planting beds, there was a lizard on the topsoil. And I'm like, it was just a little like newt thing. It's in its own environment. I saw it coming, so it didn't scare me. But like when it's, you know, in my house on my pantry door, like it was a couple years ago, no, that I get a little leaf. All right, back to this. Now that we've got through my sidebar, yet again, Judge Dugan's subjective motivations are irrelevant to immunity. No, bitch, they ain't. Judges are entitled to absolute immunity for their judicial acts, without regard to the motive in which those acts are allegedly performed. Accord Trump v. United States, 603 U.S. at 618. In dividing official from unofficial conduct, courts may not inquire into the president's motives. What does that have to do with someone evading arrest? Do you notice the TDS is real here? Like, what does your actions, not as an official act as a judge, telling someone that they can leave your courtroom through the back door to avoid ICE agents and being arrested, have anything to do with Trump's trial? I'm confused. Can anybody explain that one? Yeah, she wasn't acting in a judicial manner. She was contributing to committing an illegal action. Yes, there's no such thing as absolute immunity, and it doesn't even say in the statute absolute immunity. Like, it does not say absolute immunity. Oh boy. In fact, even Wikipedia, though judges may be immune to suits, in many constitutional democracies, judicial misconduct or bad personal behavior is not completely protected. Total impunity is considered contrary to the rule of law. They may be, depending on the jurisdiction, they may be criminally charged for courtroom behavior unrelated to the decision-making process. Yeah, that, like, so, yeah. No. Oh, this is, and y'all can see one of the main reasons I don't live in Milwaukee anymore. Since at least early 17th century in England and carried on through common law in the United States, judges of record have been entitled to absolute immunity. It's not absolute immunity, you fucking nitwit. Oh my God, this lawyer needs to be freaking disbarred because he's dumb. This is where this is why people hate lawyers, because they twist words. Immunity, yes, immunity for official acts, with a few exceptions not applicable here. Absolute immunity, but he contradicts himself, because when you say absolute immunity for official acts with a few exceptions, well, that's not absolute immunity. That is immunity with exceptions. He cites Floyd and Barker, Star Chamber 1607, Bradley v. Fisher, 1871, citing Floyd, Pearson v. Ray, 1967, citing Bradley. Judge Dugan, therefore, has immunity from conviction and immunity from prosecution. The essence of immunity is its possessor's entitlement. This is the problem right here. Not to have have to answer for her conduct in court. You're once again mentioning Trump. Trump is not a judge. 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 This is my problem with his argument, is he's mentioning judicial immunity in the same, while mentioning Trump and Trump's trial. Trump is not a judge. So not even looking at what he's quoting, Trump is not a judge. So you keep mentioning Trump's trial just makes me think that you have a severe case of TDS. The entitlement is an immunity from suit rather than a mere defense to liability, and like an absolute immunity, is effectively lost if a case is erroneously permitted to go to trial. Emphasis in original. Congress did not abrogate this common law immunity in 18 U.S. Code 1071 and 1505 as it did in 18 U.S. Code 242. Compare Pearson, 386 U.S. at 554, 42 U.S. Code 1983 did not abrogate civil judicial immunity. To Imbler, oh, what a name, B. Pachtman, 424 U.S. 409 and 429, 1976, 18 U.S. Code 242 allows the criminal prosecution of judges for civil rights violations. I know. How do I get that job? Congress enacted 18 U.S. Code 242 under Section 5 of the 14th Amendment with an express focus on the unconstitutional behavior of state actors, including judges. But 18 U.S. Code 1071 and 1505 are generic criminal statutes enacted pursuant to Congress's Article I powers and reflecting no congressional intent to abrogate a bedrock immunity available to state judicial officials. It is doubtful that Congress's Article I powers would extend to criminalizing actions of state court judges in their courtrooms. She was not acting as a court official when she said that he could sneak out the back door. I mean, yeah. I think these judges that get to sit till they croak is nonsense. Yeah, I see the point back in the day when people were expected to be moral and have a certain set of ethics that they abided by, but the problem with that is we also weren't afraid to impeach people when they fucked up. And would implicate all the concerns that motivated the 10th Amendment. And nothing in this indictment alleges any violations of a person's constitutional rights in ways that implicate the unique concerns of the Reconstruction Amendments. Well, that's because the person in your courtroom doesn't have constitutional rights. Constitutional rights are afforded to citizens of the United States. But the court need not decide whether Congress could have abrogated judicial immunity in 18 U.S. Code 1071 and 1505 because Congress did not do so. Neither should be construed to criminalize an official act of a state court judge, and the indictment does not allege that they do. The problems with this indictment run deeper. Immunities aside, the indictment runs afoul of the 10th Amendment and constitutional principles of federalism. Federal power is limited to specific enumerated areas in the Constitution. Here's the problem, though. Y'all wanted big government. Y'all wanted big government. Y'all wanted government with a lot of power. Guess what are consequences of government with a lot of power? Federalism issues. No one cared about fucking federalism when it comes to all these unelected bureaucrats in Washington. No one gives a shit about that. But people only give a shit about federalism when it negatively affects them. Funny how that works. Yeah, I have I have no confidence in this entire freaking government. I have the executive, well, parts of the executive branch I have confidence in right now, and that's it. Immigration is a duty of the federal government. That's true too. All other powers are reserved to the states, respectively. So, aiding and abetting someone who has an arrest warrant by federal immigration, make it make sense. Like, this make it make sense. U.S. Constitution Amendment 10. That includes general police power. He's basically, do you understand what he basically just implied here? That includes general police power. The states retain it. The federal government does not have it. He's basically saying that the FBI, ICE, NCIS, any federal agency, the CIA, any of that, they have no power. Because they are federal, the U.S. Marshals, they have no power because they are federal. And that policing is reserved to the state. I'm sorry, this lawyer in this right here blows my ever loving fucking mind. Like, I am dumbfounded right now. But yes, but these are also the same people that will send the FBI after you for speaking out at a freaking teachers meeting or a school board meeting. So, like, you have no power here. Be gone before somebody drops the house on you too. Oh, yeah. Article 1, laws don't exist, is what the judge was saying. Yeah, but what this lawyer is saying is that includes, according to Amendment 10, all other powers are reserved to the states, respectively, or to the people, including general police power. The states retain it. The federal government does not have it. He literally just said that the federal government does not have police power. So the Capitol Police don't matter. The FBI doesn't matter. The U.S. Marshals have no power. ICE has no power. And any other federal agents have no power. That's literally what he said in this. The states retain it. The federal government does not. Her lawyer just said the federal government has no police power. It's literally what he just said. I'm having problems moving past this statement right here. Like, what the actual freak of nature is he? Like, what fucking law school did this mofo go to? Like, I have to screenshot that because I just can't, like, my mind is that a lawyer would literally say that the federal government, I understand that you have you're defending your client, but at the same time you can defend your client and not be a complete fucking moron. I'm like, look at ICE detention center. They were told by the individuals that trespassed, you have no power. Yeah, but these are the same people that will send the FBI after you if you piss them off. Like, it's just, this is a motion to dismiss. In criminal lawsuits, you really don't get a response. You get a motion to dismiss. It's not like It's not like civil where you have, 21 days from the time that the complaint is filed to file a response. It's criminal is a little different. You just get a motion to dismiss. And I understand that he has to put in an argument. He has to put in a motion to dismiss. He has to try. But that argument is one of the dumbest arguments I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've seen a lot of stupid people. Unsurprisingly, then, the American judicial system is empirically almost entirely in the realm of the states. Don't disagree with that. Federal jurisdiction is limited. U.S. Constitution Article 3, federal criminal jurisdiction is limited. See U.S. v. Lopez, 1995. That's why over 99.4% of criminal cases filed within this country are in the state courts. I don't disagree with that. However, that being said, there are things that are federal jurisdiction, and dealing with immigration is federal, and immigration enforcement is federal, and you obstructed that. Sorry about your luck. How about you just don't fuck up and try to hide behind judicial immunity? The government's prosecution here reaches directly into a state courthouse, disrupting active proceedings, and interferes with the official duties of an elected judge. A state defines itself as sovereign through the structure of its government and the character of those who exercise government authority. McDonald v. U.S., 2016, quoting Gregory v. Ashcroft, 1991, Judge Dugan was elected by the people of Milwaukee County, not by me, to adjudicate their disputes and administer the laws of Wisconsin. Wisconsin Constitution, Article 7. Statute 2 and 7, the federal government violated Wisconsin's sovereignty on April 18th. Like, fuck, they did. When it disrupted Judge Dugan's courtroom. And it's violating Wisconsin's sovereignty now with this prosecution. Some of these documents, like, reading these, I'm like, how did these people graduate law school? The mental gymnastics that you have to go through to, like, Simone Biles, gold medal gymnastics. Gold medal level mental gymnastics. The court should end the violation of Wisconsin's sovereignty and dismiss the indictment. As a practical matter, counsel for Judge Dugan stand ready to file briefs and to participate in evidentiary hearing if either both will aid the court, but they stand on the observation that any further proceedings in this case, other than immediate dismissal, are barred by official acts, immunity, and judicial immunity. Regardless, in the event this prosecution moves forward, Judge Dugan reserves her right to supplement this motion with briefing and other filings submitted within 20 days of arraignment, as provided in Criminal Local Rule 12b1. Dated Madison, Wisconsin, May 14th, 2025. Oh, Honorable Hannah C. Dugan, defendant. Oh my God, there's more than one. John Bradley, Dean Strang, Rick Resch, William Grau. God, y'all all need to be. Oh, they're fucking Madison attorneys. That's why. And Thiensville. Thiensville's like a hole in the wall. Jason Lusek. Oh, fucking Polish. Gimbel, Riley, Gurin, and Brown. That's downtown Milwaukee. That's a high rise. This was a judge that threw her life away for a total stranger over what? Some Hey, Nicholas. Squid, don't want to derail, but I'm a Hales viewer who's guilted by you into watching this stream because you told me to watch your other streams. Hey, welcome. I did give a little Hales update. There is a hearing, telephone hearing, scheduled for 5/29, which is a Thursday, at 11 a.m. Central Time. It is a telephone hearing. So in the What the Hills 1 case, it's just a an update. It's just a status conference. Hopefully, that's when the judge, because the Beelzebubble still gets court updates. So he will probably have to be on that. And he will probably have to be on that. Don't say hole in the wall. It will probably attract Laura Owens. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, he should be. I would think he should be, or I would think he should be, because of the fact that the judge still said make sure he still gets docket updates, and he should be, because it's a status conference and he still gets docket updates. So his butt should be there. Oh my God. Speaking of that, oh, what the I gotta close some of these documents so that I get a little bit my brain slows down a little bit. But yeah, how many times do we have to say judicial immunity? This might be one for Megan, on her wall of idiot judges. This might be one for Megan to put on her why judicial immunity sucks. No, this is phone. This is not a Zoom. This is completely this is a telephonic conference. So there are no cameras. This is completely there is a phone number. Document 142 is the memorandum with the phone number and the access code. I am not putting it up specifically because I don't want to be that guy, but it is on the docket. So it's Gingras did actually file his and I think he posted it too. Somebody posted it. Gingras filed his motion to extend going to the Amazon. I've shopped too much, can you tell? Arizona Supreme Court. So I have to go to my Twitter feed. Because I believe let's see. Oh, and Buck Naked, I saw this. I have to share this with you guys. I saw this on my Facebook. He doesn't need a PT belt. It's a freaking float coat. I saw that, but all the best research, all the best. Let's go to David Gingras because I am not blocked yet. He filed a motion to extend, so we can go ahead and read this real quick. I don't have the whole document, but more like a black hole. Yeah, he filed for an extension. This is Megan's wall of recusal. Yes. Anybody want to reach out to Megan and tell her I have a perfect candidate for her wall of recusal, except she was removed technically. The Supreme Court of Wisconsin suspended her, but that motion to dismiss was the absolute judicial immunity that I think would make Megan beat her head against the wall. Because yeah. And he said, this is Gingras's, he said, just FYI, I asked for this extension because I have family in town this week due to my niece moving back to Tennessee after finishing her first year at U of A. She'll be back in August. In the meantime, don't ask me to comment on rumors. So he did extend. Yeah, he did extend. But welcome to my Twitter feed. And this right here is why I had to delete my Twitter for a while. I still have to figure out how to like I still have to figure out how to I have to figure out how to get off of this side of Twitter. Yeah, I have to figure out how to get off of that Twitter. Arizona Supreme Court has probably not responded yet because they have to stop laughing first. Well, he didn't. He did not submit it to them yet. It was due tomorrow. He filed a motion to extend. So, but they probably won't get back to him until, they probably won't get back to him at all. But anyway, on that, it is almost 4:00. I have to get going. I have to cook dinner. I have to get this one up because the rumors about the money moving your clients did, or the HGC injections she had delivered. Oh yeah. Did you hear about the Russian plane went diving into the ocean when it failed to land on the aircraft carrier? I did not. Yeah, that right there. Yeah, and I know it was given or it was technically gifted to the Department of Defense, and I know that as country accept gifts, I just have a problem with that too. But I kind of do have a problem with it, but my problem is not with like actually getting it, but the people who are like, we can't have an Air Force One that's not made in the US. Y'all realize Air Force One is modded, like Boeing is made in there's a Boeing facility in South Carolina, there's a Boeing facility in Washington, there's a Boeing facility in Texas, and Air Force Ones or Boeing 747s are retrofitted to be Air Force One in Texas. I know because someone got an email in 2020 about about possibly moving to Texas to work on a certain aircraft that is being retrofitted to be Air Force One. Not me. I'm not tired, but I have to wake her up because if I don't get her up, she's going to be up all night and I will be tired. I probably will stream tomorrow afternoon. Not sure what time. Probably around the same time. Not sure what the topic is going to be. I have a couple things that I want to discuss, and or if anything happens with certain other things, because technically, whoa, oh, I don't know what just happened. My computer just. There we go. Holy crap. I don't know what happened to my Chrome, but it decided that it wanted to have a freak out. So I will see you guys on the next one. I actually will end this stream properly this time. Yeah. That will, I don't know what happened. I don't know why that happened, but we're actually going to end this stream. I didn't even try to end it. My internet started freaking out, or just Chrome, not my internet, just Chrome. Chrome started flickering and both monitors, but nothing else. I quit Chrome and restarted, and it's fine. So I don't know what happened. It decided that it didn't want to work anymore. It got tired. But y'all have a great day. Stream tomorrow, no stream Friday. We are going out of town for the weekend. And then my best friend is going to be here most of next week. So streaming schedule for next week is a little up in the air and wild. But I will keep tabs on everything. So we will see. Jen, can you message me that? Because I will forget. China added again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. We'll just blame Laura or blame the judge. All right, y'all have a great day. Bye.